Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. Guys, if I sound excited, it's because I am. I'm here to bring you the updated version of my Slam build, my Magnus Opus, if you will. I will break down today's video into 3 smaller sections like I normally do. In the first one, I'll be going over the gear and enchantments I'm using currently on the character. The second section will be going over the updated version of the build, and in the third section will be a small gameplay demo of the build in action. Even still, after recording this video, I'm blown away at the performance of this build, and I can't express to you guys how excited I am and proud of myself for taking my original concept of the build in the first video and refining it to such a high degree. Let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the video, okay? I will see you guys in-game and in the next video. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Alright, so here we are in game, guys. I'm going to be going over the gear that I'm currently using on my character. As you can tell, I have switched actually over to strength allocation, and I'll be going over a little bit more in detail why I did that. But first, why don't we start by going over the gear, okay? In our head slot, we have the crafted Rage Steel Helm, enchanted with the Overheating Legendary RE, and the 34 attack power, 16 hit rating that I got from my Aldor rep. The reason I went with this helm versus a helm with a meta socket is really just because the meta socket really doesn't add a lot of DPS compared to this, and the prices are extremely overpriced right now due to the lack of availability. In our next slot, we have Necklace of Trophies. This is a BOE level 67 necklace. It gives 22 strength, 15 agi, which is just a little bit of crit rating, and 14 hit rating as well. In our shoulder slot, we are using the crafted Rage Steel Shoulders, enchanted with, again, the 30 attack power, 10 critical strike rating enchant that you get off being revered with the Cenarian Expedition, socketed with 2 strength gems. This gives a large bonus to strength, crit, and a little bit of hit rating as well. In the cloak slot, we are using the Cloak of Malice, enchanted with the 12 agility. This gives a large bonus to attack power, as you can tell, and a massive bonus to agility, which scales with kings very well, giving us a pretty large chunk of crit chance. In the chest piece slot, we are using the Crimson Forge Breastplate. This gives a large bonus to strength, enchanted with 6 stats as well, with a pretty large bonus to critical strike chance and hit rating. You can get this out of Heroic Hellfire Ramparts. In the bracers, we are using the BOE crafted epic bracers, the Black Felsteel bracers. These are about the strongest strength-based bracers you can get in the game currently before raids, giving you a massive 38 plus to strength and 22 crit rating. These are huge. In our glove slot, we are using the crafted Rage Steel gloves, enchanted with 15 strength, giving us a massive total 50 plus to strength on one item, and a large bonus to critical strike rating as well. In the belt slot, we are using the Death Forge girdle, socketed with 2 strength gems, again large strength and big bonus to critical strike rating as well. In our leg slot, we are using the Bloodlord leg plates, which you can get out of Heroic Blood Furnace, socketed with 3 strength gems. These give up to 62 strength, socketed the way that I have it, and with the enchantment, you can get up to 164 attack power alone from one slot. These are insane leggings. In our boot slot, we are using the Bloodsworn War Boots. It gives up to 31 strength, enchanted with 12 agility just for a little bit more crit rating, and the 17 hit rating will help cap out your hit rating very nicely. In ring slot 1, we are getting Reaver's Ring. You can get this off Heroic Hellfire Ramparts. This gives a large bonus to strength and crit rating. This is probably your best in-slot ring that you can get before raids. In ring slot 2, we are using Overseer's Signet. You get plus 25 strength, the 15 agility adds a little bit of crit rating, and again some more hit rating just to cap out the hit rating as well. In trinket slot 1, we are using Hourglass of the Unraveler. You can get this from normal Black Morass. This is your best in-slot trinket up until the point you can get the badge vendor gear or getting into raids. In my second trinket slot, I am using the Blade Fist Breath, which you get from doing the Overlord quest chain in Hellfire Peninsula. This is a large bonus to critical strike rating and an on-use effect of plus 200 attack power when you need it. In my ranged weapon slot, I am using the crafted Felsteel Whisper Knives. These give hit rating, crit rating, and attack power, everything you want as a Fury type warrior. In my main hand, we are using the epic one-hander sword Vindicator's Bran, enchanted with Crusader, which you get from being exalted with the Aldor. This is the single strongest one-handed sword you can get in-game pre-raid. In my offhand, we are using the Edge of the Cosmos, which you get from doing normal Mechanar. Again, enchanted with Crusader, since both of the procs can stack, giving you a massive bonus to strength. This is the strongest offhand sword that you can get, particularly for this build, in pre-raid gear. If you have any questions on the gear listed here and you're not sure where to obtain it, go ahead and just go on Google and do a quick search, and it should put you where you need to be, okay? So here we are at the talent screen. We're going to be going over the talent tree in this version versus the first version, some of the biggest changes, and why I chose to go strength stacking instead of agility stacking for my current gear. The core concepts of the build remain the same. This is a slam, cleave, poison build, and to a lesser degree the overheating legendary RE, making up 100% of our damage. The reason I chose to go strength over agility is because your auto attacks, cleave, slams, and poisons scale best off attack power, and strength you can scale attack power much further than you can with agility. Starting in the arms warrior tree, we picked up charge for a mobility and some rage generation at the beginning of a fight. We picked up 2 points of impale, 1 point of deep wounds again to proc the blood frenzy talent in the rogue, which we do pick up, 1 point into weapon mastery for the same reason as in the last video, and 3 points in improved slam. Into the fury tree, we'll go over the abilities first. We have battle shout, victory rush, cleave, slam, and berserker stance. For the talents, we have 5 points into cruelty, 2 points into unbridled wrath, 3 points into improved cleave, 3 points into dual wield specialization, 3 points into improved berserker stance, 1 point into rampage, 3 points into unending fury, and of course single-minded fury, the entire point of the build. Over in protection tree, it's very simple. Pick up blood rage for the extra rage generation, and 3 points into insight. Over in the shaman tree, we are taking call of the elements. Over in enhancement, we're taking wind fury totem and water walking. 3 points into flurry is our only talents here. And over in the restoration tree, I am taking tremor, totemic recall, and cleansing totem. I choose to keep these in all of my DPS builds because these totems are far more valuable to your group and your raids than you doing maybe 1 to 2% extra DPS by taking other totems as well. I plead for anyone watching this as DPS, keep these in your build. Everyone will appreciate it. Going over the rogue skills and talents, starting in assassination, we take slice and dice and poisons, 3 points into vile poisons, 5 points into improved poisons, and 1 point into hunger for blood. Over in the combat tree, we're taking kick, feint, 5 points in dual wield specialization here, 3 points into hack and slash, 1 point into blade flurry, and 2 points into savage combat. Over in subtlety, we take vanish for the threat drop and to get out of combat, safe fall for more open world stuff, and 3 points into honor among thieves to generate the combo points needed to use slice and dice. Paladin tree, we are taking Blessing of Kings and Blessing of Sanctuary. Both give +5 strength. This one gives +5 all stats, and this gives +5 to all stamina. So these are really good buffs for your raid, and they help your DPS quite a lot. And we're taking the new Divine Strength for the 6% strength, and the Capstone bonus where you gain 10% of your strength as hit rating. This thing is super valuable for strength stacking builds such as this. And the last 3 things we're going to be taking is in the Mage, Hunter, and Druid. In the Mage, we're going to be taking Polymorph. Again, as a DPS, it is your job to CC. Do not rely on your tanks or your healers. Be the better DPS. Take a CC, please. Over in Hunter, we are taking Aspect of the Beast for 4% total attack power. And over in Druid, again, taking Rebirth because you losing a little bit DPS is a lot less important than your entire raid wiping because a healer has to stop healing to battle res somebody mid-combat. Go ahead and take this. It's going to pay off a lot. Let's go ahead and go over the random enchants that I'm using on this build so you guys know exactly what to look for when rolling gear. I'm still using the legendary overheating, and even though this got a nerf, this is still the strongest generic melee RE that you can use, so I would still search for this if you can. The blue REs I'm using are Elemental Devastation like in the last video, and Dual Wield Specialization as well. Improved Poisons, 3 points into that. 3 improved Cleave. 3 points of hack and slash, giving you up to 15% chance to gain additional attack. This thing is really awesome for DPS and threat generation. 1 point into natural born fighter for 1% physical and 1% nature damage, and the 1 point into unbridled wrath. The reason I have this is because without it, as strange as it might seem, just the extra 1 rage generation by unbridled wrath actually puts you just about at the tipping point of rage generation where you're never rage starved, and without it I find myself being rage starved quite often. For my epic REs, I am using Battering Ram still, and I've actually swapped out into Just Warming Up and Naturally Strong. These 2 REs are probably the strongest for this particular build, and I would really suggest trying to look for these when you're rolling gear. Before getting into the live gameplay demo of the build, I want to address why I chose Berserker Stance over Battle Stance. A lot of people have been parsing higher with Battle Stance in a lot of builds, and while this can maybe parse 2 to 3% higher, I feel that the improved Berserker Stance with the reduced threat is far more valuable to raids. Threat generation is insane right now, and a lot of tanks, including myself, struggle because a lot of people just assume that a tank is going to have the same threat level generation as retail tanks. That's just not true, and given a raid environment, you might be able to pull threat, so the 15% reduction of threat here is actually really, really nice. If you find yourself in a group or a raid that's a little bit less geared than you, and you find yourself pulling a lot of threat, you can go ahead and take 3 points out of your Vile Poisons, go over into the Retribution Paladin, and put 3 points into Fanaticism for an additional 30% threat reduction. If you can, as a DPS, please consider taking this or some kind of passive threat mitigation in your build. You doing maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4% extra DPS in the long run is far, far, far less impactful than a tank losing threat in a very crucial moment, say like Onyxia. If you pull threat on Onyxia in Classic and she deep breaths the raid, you kill everybody, and that's on you because you just don't feel like you should be bothered controlling your threat. Threat is still an issue, and please, please, I'm begging you, do something to mitigate it. You will be a better player in the long run because of it. Alright, so just like in the last video, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you some of the gameplay footage of me smashing the dummy to pieces. Go ahead and watch to the end, and I will see you on the other side, guys. Enjoy. Alright guys, so there we have it. 5.3k DPS in pre-raid gear. To say lightly, I am fucking blown away by the performance of this build. I was not expecting it to get to the level it has, and with proper tuning and time investment and theory crafting, you can take any original concept you have and push it to its absolute limits like I have, and I'd imagine going into raids with proper consumables and proper raid buffs, I'm probably going to be smashing bosses to bits. So I'm really excited. If you guys like this video, just like the last one, I do appreciate it a lot. Yeah. See you in the next video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.